Zilly, your story's even not even crazier, but it's wild in itself because you come
Unique in
from
a sense.
unique because you
Yeah.
come from a
It's still
D3
nuts.
school, you transfer to another school, then you're at NFL trials, then you end up in Edmonton, then now in the NFL, right? So like, what sticks out about your journey to you the most? Like,
I guess for
Please tell
me,
the part of you getting slighted. Please tell that part.
oh, I want to hear
that
that.
that was about to be, and that's the thing, Brian, is not that many people know about it. So
Please
like,
tell it.
so like the people
Everybody's
that know
about to know
about it,
now.
they're like a few of my, few of my close friends, family members know it. And then the day I had my exit meeting with Coach Moss after my
Mhm.
second year, um, I brought that up, like what the story I'm about to tell you. I guess I could go through the story first, but
Yeah, tell me
I'll
the
go.
year too. What year was this?
So this is me coming out to the CFL. So like
Okay.
I moved down to Arizona with my college quarterback at the time, and we started training together. My way into the CFL, I didn't know anything about it. I literally went on everybody's all nine teams like website,
Yeah.
found out when and where they had tryouts, found out which ones were close to me, the ones that I could drive to, and ones that I could afford,
Yeah.
and then went and tried out for all these teams. And I ended up trying out for 4 teams, and out of those 4 teams had 3 contract offers. And I didn't have an agent at the time because, I'm a nobody in college. I'm coming from, like you said, a D3 school that ran a triple option.
Yeah.
As a receiver, that's about as low as you can go.
You might as well
And
not play. You've had better chances not playing.
Yeah.
facts. But like, after the third team called, Edmonton called after the tryout, and there's like, we really like what we saw. We want to invite you down to training camp or invite you down to mini camp. And at this point, with no agent, I was just like, you know what? I have 3 teams after me now. I'm gonna see if I can use my own leverage, try to get some more money. And so I was talking to Ed on the phone. And I was just like, yo, Ed, I already have 2 contract offers.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, you do? 1 second. He goes, I'll call you back in 5 minutes. So he hangs up the phone. He calls me back, and he's like, hey, we put you on our neg list. He's like, so if anybody else contacts you, let me know. And I said,
Hey, that's a G move right there. Ed is a G for that.
yeah. And so or maybe I was talking to Torrey Hunter at the time too, but regardless, I didn't really know anything about that. So they started explaining it to me a little bit, and I was like, all right, cool. I have Edmonton to go to. And so we started talking to them, and they're just like, what are your intentions? And I was like, I'm trying to play in the NFL. It's been my dream since I was young.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was like, I really appreciate this offer and everything, but like, I still want to take my shot at the NFL. And they're just like,
Right.
by all means, go do that. And so we kind of just, kept a good relationship. I went and did the mini camp tryout, and the mini camp tryout with Edmonton. After that, they're just like, yeah, we want to bring you to training camp. And I was like, I'm still hoping for the NFL. I went and did the NDSU Pro Day, and I did a regional combine at the time. And, I still didn't have that much interest, but at the same time, I wanted to see if I got picked up by somebody. And so then they're just like, all right, cool. They're just like, we're going to send you over our contract. Why don't you sign it? We won't date it. We'll give you 72 hours after the draft. If nobody picks you up in those 72 hours, then we'll put your contract through. And I was thinking, I was just like, dude, that is the coolest thing. Like, I have a backup plan now.
Yeah, looking out for me.
Yeah, I'm not one for a plan B, but like, this is the best plan B I could think of at the time.
100.
And so, draft goes by, I don't get picked up, but then the Vikings call, and they're just like, we want you as a mini camp tryout. So for me, I'm just like, this is all I need. Like, I just got to go show what I can do in this mini camp and get signed from there. And I called Torrey Hunter back, and I was just like, yo, Torrey, the Vikings invited me to their tryout and everything. And he's just like, hey, you know what? Best of luck. Things don't work out. You always have a home in Edmonton. So I'm on top of the world right now. I got a shot with my hometown Vikings. I have Edmonton in the background. And it was like a day or two before I head down to the Vikings training camp.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings called me. They're just like, hey, you're under contract with another team. We can't invite you down here. And I was like, what? And they're just like, yeah, you're under contract with a team in the CFL. And I said, no. I said, we have an agreement that I was going to do this. If things don't work out, I'm going up there. And they're just like, nope, you're under contract. I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. And so then I was like, wait, hold the phone.
Yeah.
And
Hold up.
I call up Torrey, and I was just like, Torrey, like, why'd you guys put my contract through? Like, what's going on? I have a tryout with with the Vikings, and you guys said I could do this. So it's like, oh man, we had a misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding.
Bro,
Listen.
So they're just like, we have a misunderstanding. Like we said that if you didn't get drafted or didn't think you picked up right away or something like that, then we're gonna push your contract through. And I was like, no. You guys told me that you guys were essentially a backup plan. You guys were to give me a tryout, and if things don't work out, then I go sign. And he's just like, man, I'm sorry. You know, like you're already under contract. We're to put your contract through and whatnot. So at this point, I am so hot. I call my college.
Edmonton.
He did at first.
We'll get there. So, you know, I'm
no wonder he didn't talk to you, Brian. He's pissed. Go ahead.
So like, I'm calling like my college coach. I'm just like, yo, this is what just happened. And he was furious. He was furious at the situation because you know how bad I wanted this Viking tryout. And so then I didn't have an agent, but I knew of an agent. And so I called him and I was like, yo, what can I do about the situation? And he's just like, really? There's honestly not a whole lot you can do. And then I called Ed back. Ed didn't answer my phone calls. I left him like 2 or 3 voicemails and a long text message. Just like, yo, like, what are you guys doing with me? Like, that was so disrespectful and whatnot. Like, this is my dream. You guys just took it away from me.
Yeah.
I called the CFL front office. I was literally doing anything I could. I called the CFL front office and said, void this contract before it goes through. Like, we had an agreement and they broke the agreement.
Yeah.
And so then, like, those next couple of hours I spent going through all my emails and all my voicemails with any contact I had with Edmonton to see if I could find this agreement, like, documented, so I could bring that, you know, to the CFL or something. And I never had anything in writing. I didn't have any voicemails of them actually saying that. It was all over the phone where they told me that. So they got me. And at that point, you know, I was super upset, but I was just like, you know what? At this point, it's either I go play up in Edmonton, put a resume down for the NFL, or I'm done playing football, because those are my only 2 options at this point. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to bite the bullet. I said, I'm going to put all this aside and I'm going to go do my thing up there. And so like, when I called my college coach and told him that, he's just like, bro, how could you go play for them? They just messed you over like this.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I was like, you have to look past it at that point. It's either I'm done playing football or I do this. And so like, you know, I've told Bryant this story, and other people too, like my parents and some friends and stuff, they're just like, you know, I can't believe you'd go do that, but you know, I still believe I can play football at a high level, and this is my only way to prove it. So I was just like, I'm not gonna have any animosity towards Edmonton. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna be professional, I'm gonna go work my tail off, and you know, just kind of see what comes from this. And so like that whole story, you know, happens or whatever. I play my 2 years up there, have a good time, have a great relationship with a ton of people up there.
Yeah.
And then my exit meeting with Coach Moss, you know, it was just after a disappointing loss against Calgary in the
I remember that.
Yeah, in the division championship or whatever. And I can't remember how he even brought it up, but it was like towards the end of the meeting. You know, it was long. I know he was tired, and I know he was still frustrated about, you know, how everything ended. But I wanted to bring it up, and I was just like, you know, regardless of what happened and how I made it up here, like, I'm still super thankful you guys got me up here. Like, I had the time of my life. It was the most fun football I've ever played and whatnot. And he's like, what are you talking about? And so I told him the story, and he goes, bro, I didn't know any of that. Like, he was shell-shocked. He's just like, bro, I never heard any of that. He goes, I can't believe that happened. I'm so sorry. Because, like, essentially, if you look at it, and this is kind of how I always kind of looked at it, I was just like, I took 2 prime years away from the NFL that I could have had, where,
100%.
you know, I could have been playing my dream a lot faster, and I could have been getting paid. But that's one thing I don't think I would take away from my journey, though, going to the CFL, because the relationships I've met, like having you two as friends, like helped push me to, you know, the receiver and the man I am today. How I learned the game up there, how I learned how to take care of my body, and just honestly how much fun I had up there. Granted, I wasn't making money. Like it was worth that experience. And yeah, I don't know.
Man, bro, for you to take the high road like that, you were better than a lot of dudes, man. A lot of dudes I know would have been like, man, they'll come up there and be cussing out GM and coaches the whole time, man, get themselves cut. But, bro, that honestly says a lot about you. Like, honestly, to be able to take the high road like that, that says a lot about you, man.
I got to do what I got to do.